I started using Cubicost in 2017.
Started using it back in 2013.
We started using Glodon since I think mid of last year.
Actually, I started training for this Cubicost software around end of 2016.
We tried this Glodon since last year, September. So we have been trying for 6 months.
The first time I deal with Glodon's Cubicost software was about half a year ago, and I'm quite impressed. I have been so long in this QS line. Okay, all along I've been dealing with papers, measurements and all this, and suddenly there's this QS that can help us in quantification. And quantification is the process where it's really, really time consuming. I'm very impressed.
And then it's a matter of time that we realize, the rest of the contractors are using it. They're in already. How come Dragage are not using it yet? I think it would be an edge for us if we have it in our company. That's the reason. So luckily, we have convinced our boss that we need it. And it will be a big help for each of us.
For my case, I like the fact that it's easy for me to pick up finishes, all type of finishes. I just need to input the schedule and just point it in, and then I get floor finishes, wall finishes. For me, it saves up a lot of time to do measurement. Secondly, it helps a lot when it comes to collaboration, like the modern merging function that I've mentioned. Third, the customer service is top-notch.
I enjoyed using the product because it helped us to manage our time and get the result fast. What attracted me the most is the identify command in the software, which is, for example, we're doing a design and build project right now. So not all information are in the drawing. So what we're doing is use the identify command to generate all the beams, the columns, and it saved so much time for us.
After we finish modeling, we do the calculation, then we can see the software show us whether there is the error or not. That is the best part.
There's once I'm working on TBQ. It's also part of Cubicost. I'm stuck with some issues. Then I call up this salesperson. She was actually really, really nearby at another office. She said she can just drop by. So I was surprised. Drop by? Where? She said, just a few blocks away. Okay, good. So I waited, and then she came down, we worked through lunch, and then she solved the problem for me. That's very good.
I still remember not long ago, I actually faced this kind of situation whereby I don't have enough time for me to do the takeoff. Then I contacted Glodon supporting team. I'm glad that they actually can respond very fast and give us the quickest solution to introduce me something else rather than what we are using previously. Then eventually I can meet the timeline.
You are stuck up with this. You can just screenshot, send to WhatsApp group, please Lisa or Jason, Stacy, can you resolve the issue? We cannot do it. That's one thing that we appreciate with Glodon, that whenever there is an issue, they will come personally or they will call or WhatsApp. That's one nice thing that Glodon has.
There was a time that I'm doing a quite big project and my computer keeps hanging every time I'm going to calculate. I seek help to Glodon service team to help me calculate the project. Then in no time, they asked me to send the model, and on the next day, they sent me the email with the result.
It's so-called like, last time remember, first time when we are using is, I give you an example, is a Coney Island. So when we're facing a problem, we give a text, then they will come out like, morning, 10 o'clock, give them a text, then 12 o'clock they will come down to serve us until 2 to 3 p.m. So which is very fast and help us to move on our tender.
I believe, Glodon will continue to further develop their product, maybe in their progress payment and 5D BIM solution.
By looking at the recent upgrade, where Glodon really addressed to the user concern in terms of functionality and efficiency, I believe having this software in the company will really be a plus point to it.
I'm confident with Glodon team because so far they are doing well in their product development, and I'm looking forward to new development in the future.
After the latest developed version of Cubicost, I can say that what I enjoy the most is the user interface of the software. Because if you're going to compare it to old version, it is more well organized.
Thank you, Glodon Cubicost, for being there for us.
Thank you, Glodon, for making digital QS profession possible in this roadmap towards digitalization.
Thank you, Glodon Cubicost, for your continuous innovations and efforts, making the construction practice a little bit more efficient and interesting.
Thank you, Glodon Cubicost, for your unprecedented contribution in the industry and always going above and beyond.
Thank you, Glodon Cubicost, for making QS life easier.
Just imagine, each of your projects could be automatically taken off. Each of your quantity reports could be intelligently generated. Each quantity of your BQ could be traced back to your source. Check is so easy and clear that you could view them directly without any redundant calculation. We present you Cubicost. With Cubicost, you could obtain dimensions on drawings intelligently and generate BIM models accordingly. You could possess multiple standard methods of measurement around the world. Through the combination of built-in measurement rules and 3D models, you could calculate the quantities automatically. Instead of repeated manual quantity takeoff, you could obtain the quantities rapidly with just a few steps. In addition, Cubicost provides present report formats that you use most frequently and fill data in them automatically. Thus, you no longer need to copy or compile the complicated Excel formulas. Meanwhile, you could customize the required report formats on your own. After you fill quantities in BQ, Cubicost could help you interconnect BQ, quantities, and BIM models. You could easily find out where each quantity item in BQ is from and where it goes. This is Cubicost Takeoff Solution, your intelligent, visual, and interconnected whole process takeoff solution.
Glodon Cubicost! Glodon Cubicost! Glodon Cubicost! Glodon Cubicost! Glodon Cubicost! Glodon Cubicost!
Glodon Cubicost!
Glodon Cubicost!
Glodon Cubicost!
Glodon Cubicost!
Glodon Cubicost!
Glodon Cubicost!
Glodon Cubicost! Philippines BIM! Glodon Cubicost!
Glodon Cubicost! Glodon Cubicost!
Hello guys, good morning.
Good morning din.
Morning po.
Hello po, kamusta po kayo? Before we start po, I just want to remind you, yung recording po is up on our Google Drive. I already uploaded it. Medyo late ko na po na-upload, wherein you can watch it siguro after this seminar po. So I'll just replace it here. And also, yung second day natin or this day will be uploaded to the same Google Drive, no? To the same link rin po. Currently we have 52 participants. Hopefully we can reach yung pinaka-peak natin yesterday nung bago tayo umalis, around 80 participants. For our schedule for today, we will be discussing most of the architectural works and substructure works po ng ating model. And then we will also do the reporting. So this is a quick preview of the reporting feature of the software. And we will have a quiz. Okay, magko-quiz po tayo mamaya. Also, siguro mamaya I will show you as well or i-refresh ko lang po kayo how do we use yung PDF feature ni software. Okay? Kasi pinakita ko pa lang pong auto-identification is column. So siguro mamaya pakita ko na rin for the other elements, maybe foundation, papakita ko sa inyo how we do the auto-identification using the PDF plans. Okay? For the quiz, again, it's 20 points. You only need to pass 12. Okay? And before we start the quiz later on, magbibigay po tayo ng siguro 15-minute review. No? I will try to review most of the questions and I will ensure na kapag nakinig kayo sa review, of course, we will pass the exam. So you don't have to worry, you don't have to stress out for the review. No? So makikinig lang tayo and I assure you will pass po. Okay, so pakita ko lang po yung structure na model natin last time. I mean, kahapon. Okay? So ito po yung model natin. No? So we have a structure that looks like this. It's incomplete. Actually, we only model around 20-30% of the structure. We model most of the concrete works, like the beams, the columns, the slabs, the staircase. And we saw yesterday that the calculation is actually preset in our software using the PHSMM, or the Philippine Standard Method of Measurements for Building Works. So pinakita ko rin po sa inyo kung saan ko ina-access yun. No? Here under the quantity. So if I go here in the quantity, meron po tayong measurement settings and measurement rules. Okay, so pinakita ko kahapon yung measurement rules wherein ina-narrate or ibibigay ni software via list, no? Yung mga calculation natin. Okay? So para mas madali po nating makita, no? Kung paano yung assumption ni software, we can filter it down to the relevant elements, and also we can filter the quantity down here. Okay, we can filter the quantity down here as well. So just a trivial no? Every time you change, no, the measurement rules here, you don't have to redo the structure again. Ang gagawin nyo na lang po, i-recalculate nyo na lang siya. You will press the calculate button. So this is the function of the calculate. So just to refresh the quantities. Even if you model at first, nakalimutan yung palitan, just change it now and then press calculate po. Okay, so let me just check. One moment po, no?
Recording in progress.
Got it.
Okay, so let's see. Ang itatakal po natin ulit is architectural works. I will start with the walls. So mag-start po tayo sa walls. So the walls that we will be modeling, they are masonry walls. Okay? Or yung mga walls po na architectural or non-load bearing walls. And then mag-finishes po tayo. So medyo mahaba po yung discussion natin, no, for walls and finishes. Especially these two, no? Baka tig 1.5 hour tayo because there's a lot to talk about. Okay? Kasi yung walls natin, may mga ano pa tayo, no? May mga openings pa tayo. For the finishes naman, meron naman tayo mga different kinds of finishes. So I will explain to you a bit, one by one kung ano yung pwede nating ma-model sa finishes. Now, excuse me. Before I start, I just want to teach you something. Okay, I just want to teach you how to copy elements from one floor to the other. Okay? I'm sorry, let me correct. How to copy entities in a certain floor, in this floor, to another floor. Okay, so ibig sabihin, paano kapag typical yung aking columns on the from the ground floor hanggang sa first floor, instead of me manually doing it, why not copy it again, no? You just copy the columns from ground floor to first floor. Same goes sa mga beams, sa slab. So you can use this technique, you can use this procedure kapag po medyo typical yung structural works natin. Okay, so mabilis lang po ang step-by-step procedure na to, no? May introduce lang po akong panibagong command. Actually, dalawang command po i-introduce ko sa inyo. So, the first thing that you need to do is to highlight the entities you want to copy. Ano po ba yung gusto nating i-copy? Alright? So, kung gusto ko i-copy yung column, I need to highlight the columns or maybe all the columns that I want to copy. So, very easy. Meron po tayong tinatawag before na drag select, no? Ito po yung ginagawa natin palagi. I will go to column element, okay? And then I will drag select. Ito po yung pinapagawa ko sa inyo last time. This is the simplest method of highlighting. The drag select ko lang po siya. Ma-highlight na siya. So, let's try to level things up, no? Siyempre, mag-level up tayo. I will introduce you to a command called batch select. Okay, batch select. So ano po ba yung batch select? Batch select po is a method wherein you can select multiple elements at once. Okay? Kasi di ba meron po tayo limitation. Okay? I will show you. If I will activate all the I will turn on all the entities in our model, ang na-highlight ko lang po are columns. Okay? What if gusto kong i-highlight not just columns, gusto ko beams, gusto ko slabs sabay-sabay. Okay? How do I do that? I will use the command called batch select. So under the identify or draw, okay, just press the select button. Okay? If you press the select button, you will turn off the selection mode, the drawing mode. Kasi nasa drawing mode po kasi tayo. If I press this, the drawing mode will be turned off. Okay? And pwede tayo mag-select manually. Then after that, just press the batch. Just press the batch. So ang ginagawa po ng batch is, you can batch select, you can multiple select all the entities at this current floor by element names. Okay? So kung gusto kong select lahat ng columns, I will just check all the columns. Okay? If I want to select all the beams, I can select the beams as well para isahan na lang. Okay? Para isahan na lang po. If I press OK, maha-highlight po lahat ng columns. All the columns will be highlighted. Okay? But it doesn't mean na nagawa na natin yung copying procedure. We just highlighted the elements we want to copy later on. Okay? So, na-highlight ko na siya. What to do next? What to do next? After you highlight, you will now use the copy by floor command. Okay? Ika-copy na po natin itong hinighlight natin to other floors. Say for example, I want to copy this column papunta sa pundasyon. Okay? Going to the foundation level. The level below. So I will go to draw. Please don't press escape. Kasi pag nag-escape tayo, mawawala po yung highlight. So don't press escape or don't press right click. Yung mga unnecessary buttons po, don't press it. And then I will go to draw and then copy by floor and then copy to other floor. I will copy this column papunta sa foundation. Okay? If I press copy to other floor, I will select the floor, no, na kung saan po siya maglaland. It should be on the foundation floor po. If you want, you can copy to the other floors as well sa above, yung mga suspended floors. But for this example siguro, foundation muna tayo. And then press OK. Press OK. And actually, na-copy na natin siya. Hindi lang natin siya nakikita, pero na-copy na po natin siya. Okay? Nakopy na po natin siya. So, paano ko po malalaman kung nakopy na, no? Okay, paano ko malalaman kung nakopy na? Ganito lang po. Number one, what I can do is I can switch from lower floor, foundation. So nakita niyo po, meron po akong mga column ngayon sa foundation. They are small, no? They are a bit short compared to the columns we have in the ground floor, but because the software follows the floor height of foundation level, which is 1.5 meters. Okay, 1.5 meters lang po kasi yung floor height natin. So, sinundan ni software yung 1.5 na meters. Okay? Now, sir, paano pag gusto kong i-view lahat ng model? No, yung buong structure i-view ko, ground floor, foundation, sabay. Okay, paano po yun? While you are in the 3D mode, punta lang po kayo dito. This one. Current floor, pindutin nyo lang po ito. And then press nyo lang po yung all floors. Papakita po ni software yung full view ng inyong structure. So nakikita nyo po, ito na po yung kinapin nating column. Okay, so ulitin ko lang po, no? Ulitin lang natin yung process kung masyado mabilis. I will repeat the process again. First is use the batch select command to highlight, no? To batch highlight all the entities in the model you want to copy. So batch select, batch, and then I will select the entities or the element names I want to copy. I want to copy the columns. I also want to copy the other structures as well, no? Oops. At the foundation pala tayo. I'm sorry. Let me just switch back to the ground floor. Remember, kapag magka-copy po kayo, manggagaling kayo dun sa sa floor na meron kayong na drawing. Okay? So I will go to ground floor, batch select, and then I will copy the column or all the columns. I will also copy the beams and the slabs. Gusto ko po i-copy yung beam sa yung slab. No? So I will check them as well and press OK. So maha-highlight po yan lahat. Next is go to draw, copy by floor, and copy to other floors. Okay? And then select the landing floor. Saan nyo po ilalagay? No? Saan nyo po i-copy yung hinighlight nyo? I will copy it on the first floor level and press OK. So na-copy na po yan. Automatic po, ma-fill up na yung element list dun sa first floor. Again, to show this button right here, and then all floors po. So ayan na siya. Mamaya i-delete na lang po natin itong slab na to kasi walang pagtatagusan yung ating stairs, no? So basically that's how we copy elements or element names from one floor to the other. Okay? So I will just give you guys time to do it. I suggest you try to copy po yung column sa foundation and all other elements sa first floor po. Para kahit pa paano may volume yung structure natin. Okay? So if you have questions, feel free to chat me sa ating chat box. I will wait for you guys and then kung tapos na po kayo, we can proceed to the proper topic po natin, which is modeling of walls. All right? So yun lang po. Maraming salamat po. Copy beam slab columns to other floor po ba? Yes po. You can copy the beams, the slab, and the columns to the next floor, to first floor po. You can even copy po kahit yung beams and slab lang. Doesn't matter, no? I'm just trying to teach you kung paano po mag-copy. So, siguro ang pinaka-importante to copy to first floor is the beams and the slab kasi lalagyan po kasi natin ng finish or pintura yung ceiling natin. And the beams and the slabs will function as yung ceiling natin. Send down nung link sa Google Drive. Ika-copy paste ko lang po, I think nasa taas. Nasa taas ng chat box natin. Ito po yung link natin. Wala pong problema. paano po palabasin yung pick layer and original layer sa layer manager? So hindi po lumalabas to, no? So kung hindi po lumalabas to, it means that wala pa po kayong nasa-select na drawing. Okay? If you double-click a drawing, automatic may lalabas po the pick layer and original layer. So you need to overlay a drawing first. So you can overlay ground floor po, yung ground floor framing plan po natin. Okay, so nagawa po ba natin? May questions po ba tayo regarding copying? So let's see, no? Ito po yung itsura ng akin. It's up to you kung ano po yung copy nyo. Basta meron tayong beams and slabs sa first floor. Okay? Kasi lalagyan natin ng finish mamaya. And if possible, lagyan nyo na rin siguro ng column sa foundation. Yung column sa first floor, not necessary po. Hindi naman po ito part ng ating training. Hindi natin gagawin kasi yung first floor natin. So, for those of you na bagong pasok lang po, no, I will save this work para po makasunod tayo. Save natin yung work natin. I will copy this to our chat box as well para pwede nyo pong buksan. And then, save natin dito. Okay, so para po makasabay tayo lahat. Alright, so let's start. Let's start kasi medyo mahaba-haba pong kwentuhan itong walls, no? So, I'll try to discuss walls from 9:30 hanggang 11 siguro. Might be 11, okay? Now, for the walls, of course, as we know, we already uploaded our architectural plans, yung floor plans po natin. And on my part, it is located on page 6, no? Yung ground floor po, page 6. So, double-click po yung page 6. And in that way, kung ano po yung merong structure element sa atin, ma-overlay na po yung architectural plans. So, by now, you should appreciate kung bakit tayo nagda-drawing manager. Kasi nag-overlay lang po tayo nag-overlay ng plans. Okay? So, these are the walls, no? Ito po yung layout ng walls natin. The only thing we need to do is to do the manual way of tracing the wall. So, magte-trace po muna tayo. Tapos mamaya po tayo mag-auto-identify. Because the auto-identification of walls, including the openings, they are a bit challenging, no? They're a bit challenging. last time po or kahapon po, 3 steps lang tayo ng 3 steps. For the walls and openings, we have a total of 8 steps. 8 steps po yung gagawin natin. But don't worry, I think it will be reduced into 6, and also totally worth it naman siya because automatic na si software yung locate ng openings at magdodrawing po ng walls. Okay? So, let's try to do the manual method of walls po muna. I will trace the walls. And if you're familiar in modeling beams, CCU na lang po, no? It's fairly familiar to you na po by now. So pupunta lang po ako sa wall, no? I'll just go to the element navigation bar here. Punta lang tayo sa element navigation bar. I'll go to wall and click wall. Okay? And every time we switch from one element to another, may mga elements po, may mga entities po sa ating drawing na mata-turn off. Okay? Para po kasi hindi masyado nakakalito. Let's say, if I press the wall, nakikita nyo na wala yung horizontal entities natin like beams and slabs. Even the staircase. Kasi po, para hindi tayo malito. Okay? Magpapakita lang dyan yung mga vertical elements that are related to walls, like columns. Now, what I will do is I will just repeat what I did yesterday. I will select the element list, press add. If you want, kung meron po kayong mga irregular walls, you can draw it here sa vector graphics editor. This is what I showed you yesterday. Okay? So mag-drawing lang po kayo ng cross-section. Kunyari ganyan, no? Side view po, no? Kunyari ganyan. Tapos i-drawing nyo lang po siya. So meron na kayong wall na ganito. But I'm not interested on that, no? What I want is just a simple wall, yung simple rectangular section wall lang po. So I will select this, I will press this plus button and select wall. And then, the next thing to do is to edit the attributes. Okay? Edit the attributes in the attribute editor. Now, I suggest you to edit at least 4 of the attributes here in our wall element. Okay, 4 na attributes po. Most of them, or all of them, I mean, are public attributes. Okay, so yung edit po natin is this one, no? Are these ones, no? Name, category, material, and thickness. Okay? Sir, yung category saka yung material dati, hindi natin ginagalaw yan. Sa beam, sa slab, hindi natin ginagalaw yan. Okay? Bakit sa walls, kailangan natin galawin? The reason is, yung walls po kasi, iba-iba yung properties yan. Pwede tayo magkaroon ng glass wall, ng dry wall, ng shear wall, ng normal RC wall, ng Chb Wall. So, yung category and material, they're very important, especially when sorting quantities. Okay, so siyempre magkakamali tayo when we only have Chb Wall, pero yung volume ng Chb Wall sinama sa concrete volume. Okay, so gusto natin baguhin yung category and material. Also, kasi po, kasama sa quiz, no? Kasama po sa quiz to. Baka itanong sa inyo, no? Category material. Saan i-edit? Okay, it's under the attribute editor of walls. So let's try to edit first the name, the category, and the material and the thickness. So skip ko na po yung interior and exterior because I'm not that specific kung saan location. But if you want, you can change this as well. Kung gusto niyo po i-sort yung location ng walls. So name, maybe I'll just name it Chb Wall. Okay. Next is the category. So since this is a Chb Wall, we need to switch this to a non-structural wall. Okay? Non-structural wall po ito. You can also use the others if you want. No? Gusto nyo gawin brick or kung meron, hanap tayo ng iba. Well, brick is I think yun yung pinaka-accurate. Wala kasi CHB dito, no? But for now, I'll just use the non-structural wall na lang po. Next one, yung material. So of course, you want to relate the material to the category. Okay, so since this is a non-structural wall, hindi po ito buhos. So I'll just change this to something that is somehow accurate, no? Pwede natin gawin, this is a block, no? Because CHB, concrete hollow blocks. You can also use brick, no? So tandaan nyo na lang po yung material na i-assign nyo sa kanya. So I'll just use block. Again, the interior, exterior, I will skip. And lastly, the thickness. So the thickness is 150. So hindi ko na po ipapascale sa inyo, it's 150 mm. Alright, so to draw the CHB, no? To draw the CHB wall, again, walls are linear elements just like beams. And if you know how to draw the beams, parehas lang po sa walls, no? Just go to draw. Use the line command. Okay, we have other commands. You can use the line command. So papakita ko lang po muna yung first, the basic ones, the line command. So left click on your first wall. First start point ng wall and then drag it, no? You can, we suggest to drag it in such a way na mag-overlap po siya sa column. Okay? Wag po natin problemahin kung mag-overlap, mag-intersect kasi si software po yung bahalang mag-deduct. Maybe somewhere here, for example, left click. And then afterwards, you can even continue it. Pwede nyo pa pong ituloy ito, no? Pwede nyo pang ituloy ito. Okay? General rule of thumb as well, kapag may openings, lagpasan nyo po siya kasi bubutasan natin mamaya. Okay? Kailan po tayo magta-terminate ng walls? Okay? Magta-terminate lang tayo ng walls kapag end of wall na. As in talagang terminated na siya, wala na siyang continuation. Okay? So something like this, no? Tutuloy ko lang ito. But somewhere here, terminated na yung wall ko because nag-transition na po from 150 to 100. So terminated na siya. I'll just press left click. And even up to now, I can continue it. But kung gusto ko na pong i-end, no, yung aking line command, I'll just press right click. Right click to end. So meron na po akong pader. Okay? Meron na po akong pader. So I'll just repeat the process again. Line command. You can trace, no? You can trace. Sagad nyo na po dun sa support, no? Dun sa column. Para makapag-establish tayo ng connection ng dowels kapag nagre-rebar tayo, no? Extend it. Kahit may opening, kahit may pinto, extend it. You can press F4 to change the insertion point. Okay. Left click to snap your first panel and then you can continue. Left click. You can press again F4 to change the insertion point. Hanggang sa matapos nyo po yung wall panel. Okay. For example, hanggang dito. And then this one, hanggang dito. And then hanggang dito. Right click to confirm. So meron na po akong wall panel dito. So that's how we do the wall modeling manually po. Alright, so for now, siguro gawan po muna natin ng sample dyan sa inyong respective computers. Mag-model po tayo ng wall, maybe 5 panels. I suggest modeling walls that have openings kasi po lalagyan po natin ito ng butas mamaya. Lalagyan natin sila ng pinto at bintana. So maybe at least 5 panels. Maybe this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 siguro. Okay? So I'll just wait for you guys. And then if you have questions po, please feel free to chat me para po masagot natin. If you're done, just type thumbs up so that masignal po ako to continue. Alright, so yun lang po. Maraming salamat po. Paano daw ibalik yung guide bar sa baba? Na-exit ko kasi if you press X, mapupunta po dito yan sa ilalim. You notice, just press this blue button, no? Blue button. Ito po. babalik po yan sa taas. Alright, so kung na-model niyo na po yung walls natin, it's fairly easy, no? Fairly easy. Parang nag-drawing tayo ng beams. Papakita ko na lang rin po siguro ibang methods of drawing. Okay, you don't have to do this, pero just for reference purposes, no? Para pag pinanood niyo po yung video, you can review, no? So, meron po tayong other functions. We have this rectangle, 3-point arc. We have circle here as well, kung meron pong circular wall. And we have the BICAD line. Okay? So turo ko po sa inyo tong apat, no? I will be specific on the 3-point arc instead of the 2-point arc. Kasi yung 3-point arc po kasi nakokontrol natin gaano ka-curve yung ating wall. Kasi pag 2-point arc, it is preset already. So first of all, yung rectangle, kasi tapos na po tayo sa line. So basically, you just want to draw your wall by specifying opposite sides of your rectangle. So for example, this one. From here, papunta dito. Okay? So parang ganyan po, no? Rectangle. The hard thing in doing the rectangular modeling is that medyo mahirap po minsan maghanap ng snapping location. Okay? So hanap tayo na iba. Say for example, from here to here. Ayan, parang ganyan. You can even change the insertion point, F4, para po mag-iba yung orientation, paloob or palabas yung pader natin. Another thing, no? 3-point arc. Here is the 3-point arc method. You need to define lang po, you need to define 3 points. Okay? The first point is the start. Tapos second point po natin, let me just turn off the orthogonal. The second point is yung parang mid ng curve, no? And the third point is your end point po. Something like this. Right-click to confirm. So, meron na po tayong curve shape na wall. Now, I will introduce you to a new command, no? So ang tinatawag po natin tong BICAD line here. Okay? BICAD line. So hindi ko po ito ganong ginagamit because kung kaya kasi natin gamitin yung kung kaya natin gamitin yung BICAD line, mag-auto-identify na lang ako because the idea is the same. No? The software is using yung lines natin para mag-model ng wall. Okay? But of course, siguro kung hindi accurate yung auto-identification, we can use by CAD line. Kaya lang parang mix kasi siya ng manual saka automatic. So parang semi-automatic siya. Okay? I will use by CAD line, left click. And the first thing that I need to do is to select one line, one CAD line. Say for example, this one, I will select this one, left click. Automatic po, susundan ni software yung linya ay yung pader. Pero this wall is not yet activated. We have to position it properly by pressing F4. So napoposition po natin yan. And if you're done, no, tama naman po, you can right click to generate. Just press right click to generate. So meron na po tayong wall. Okay? Ang problema lang kasi sa CAD line ganito. Kapag putol yung pader natin, somewhere here, hindi niya itutuloy or the properties of the line. So if I generate it, putol po. Okay? And actually, I don't want this to happen. Ang gusto ko po kasi, tuloy-tuloy yung pader natin. So you can just maybe extend or pull the point here para po mag-extend tayo hanggang dulo. Okay? Kung gusto niyo po i-extend yung inyong wall or yung beam, select the wall. Simply select the wall. For example, this one. Select the wall. Tapos may lalabas po na tatlong box. Just pull, no? Kung saan direction niyo po gustong hilahin or extend it to the other side, no? Hanggang masatisfy po yung wall length natin. Okay, so yun po yung mga other methods, no? We have the line, the rectangle, the curve, the three-point arc, and the bi-CAD line. Okay, I won't be giving you time to do this kasi po I think line is enough for me, no? Para sa akin, line is enough na po. Ite-trace lang kasi natin siya. Saka mas madali siyang i-trace. Pag rectangle kasi, maghanap pa tayo ng rectangle formation, etc. Now, our next topic, hopefully na model na po natin at least 5 panels. Lalagyan na po natin sila ng pintuan at bintana. Kasi wala pa po kasi bintana at pintuan. Lagyan po natin sila ng tig-isang bintana at pintuan. So we will go to the wall openings, specifically the door and window opening. So I will teach you how to model the doors and the windows. Kung marunong po kayo mag-column, madali na lang po yung door and window because door and window is a point element. We just need to specify the location of the door and of the window along the wall span. Okay? So try po natin. I will go sa door and sa window opening and I will press door. I will just create one door first. And then I will create a door element, a rectangular door. So kung meron po kayong weird looking door, you may use the parametric door. Baka meron po kayong gantong itsurang door. I'm not sure kung merong nag-specify ng triangular door. But if needed, you may do so po. Nandito lang po siya sa parametric. So I'll just use the rectangular door. Okay? And then after we create a door element, the door element tag, what we will need to do is to rename the door and edit its attributes. So palitan po muna natin yung pangalan at yung attribute. So to change the name, just select the name and then type it, no? D5. Because I want to model D5 po here. Now the width and the height of the opening, wala po tayong info at this page. Okay? Wala po tayong info at this page. So, what we will do is we will switch from other page, no? From other page po. Kasi yung door and window schedule natin, it is located on page 5. Okay, page 5 po. So we will use the drawing manager for viewing purposes. So sisilipin lang natin siya. I will click page 5, double click. Sisilipin lang natin siya, nandito po yan sa gilid. Okay? Dito po yan sa gilid. Zoom in lang, nandito po yung D5. So the width is 1,000, the height is 2,1. Okay? The width is 1,000, the height is 2,1. For the other categories, kayo na po bahala na if you want to edit the use of the door, you can edit the category. If you want to edit the material of the door, you can edit as well. Okay? So kayo na po ang bahala dito. No? But for now, I just want to create a door with an exact name and dimension. Yun lang po yung mahalaga for our basic training. Now, to model the door, go back to page 6 kasi we just used page 5 for viewing purposes. So page 6 na po ulit tayo para mag-drawing. So ang gagawin ko po dyan is this, no? First one, locate the door. I will zoom in just to locate the door. This is the D5. Door is a point element, no? It's a point element. Pero medyo unique kasi si door. Pwede tayong gumamit ng line. Okay? But the best or the easiest method is the point. So I will use the point command under the draw. Under the draw, and then just hover my door near the location. The good thing about using the point command is sumusunod po siya sa direction ng wall. Okay? Sumusunod po yan sa direction ng wall. Kahit curve wall po yan, susunod po yan. Yun po yung advantage ng openings using point command. So I will just snap it on a location along the wall. So it's better to create a wall element first, of course, no? Para po kahit paano, si software na yung bahala para mag-locate dun sa location ng door. So if I view it, meron na po akong openings. Okay? Meron na akong pinto. Now, apologies, no? For now po, si TAS, hindi niya kayang baguhin yung itsura ng pinto. Hindi niya kayang tanggalin yung hamba dito sa gilid because ito lang po yung representation ni software. Okay, we are still working with other designs pero for now, limited lang po tayo sa ganitong representation. Okay? So ulitin ko lang po, no? Ulitin lang natin para po ma-refresh tayo when we're doing a practice. I will create now a window because modeling a window is still the same as door. So kung marunong kayo mag-door, parehas sa window. So I'll just go to window, create a window element, and then edit the name. C5 window. Okay, C5 window. The width and the height can be found on page 5. It's on the window schedule. Same table as the door schedule po. So ito po. C5 is 1/8 by 2,1. This one, 1/8 by 2,1. Go back to page 6. Go back to page 6 and then draw the window by going under the draw function, point command, and then hover papunta sa C5 location. If you found the snapping point, you may press left click, or if you want, press F4 to change the insertion point. Left click and then right click to exit. So right click to exit and meron na po tayong C5. Okay? Ang difference lang ng door sa window is this. May elevated po ang window which is a value height above floor, 900 mm. Okay? Automatic po yan sa window may 900. If you want, you can change it po. Alright, so yun lang po yung example natin, one door and one window. So on your side, you can just do one door and one window. No need to model everything po. Okay? And then after this, I will teach you one last modeling method for windows. Ang tinatawag po naming ribbon window. So if you have questions or clarifications, if you want me to guide you, please chat me in our chat box para po ma-address natin yung problem niyo. And if you are also done, you can press thumbs up as well sa ating chat box para po ma-signal niyo ako to continue. Alright? So yun lang po yung methods natin. Actually, meron pa tayo isang method, no? But let's just wait for the others. Alright? Maraming salamat po. Alright, so I think nagawa na po ng mga karamihan dito. No? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Paano po import yung training.rar? You need to extract it po. No? Extract it muna using the WinRAR or 7-zip, yung mga extracting tool. Tapos po i-double click nyo lang po yung TAS file. Okay, so ang gagawin ko ganito. No? Extract lang po. Extract to training. Tapos po, double click the file. Double click nyo lang yung file. Bubukas na po yan. Not opening on your part. Not opening on your part. Kailangan po magbukas siya. Automatic po yan. Naka-install po ba yung TAS software natin? For example, no? Pupunta po ako sa folder. Double click lang po yung TAS. Check natin, no? Kung empty daw. Ito po yung ano natin. Make sure po kapag nag-extract tayo, don't remove the kumbaga kapag nag-extract tayo, extract it into a separate folder. Separate folder po, no? Hindi po yung extract natin dito tapos i-double click natin. Baka kasi nawawala yung link ng mga drawing materials. Okay, yung mga in-upload natin. Say for example, I will copy this, no? Save ko muna. Nakakatakot. Save ko muna siya. And delete natin. Di-delete ko to, no? Let's say. Di-delete ko siya. Kunyari, ganito lang. Ito lang. No? Ito lang. Ganito lang po yung file, no? Mangyayari dyan, di alam ni software kung nasan yung drawing materials. So, kaya po blanco siya. Let's see kung blanco, no? So, kita niyo po, walang laman yung drawing manager. Kasi po, nawala yung location ng folder. So, kailangan po pag nag-open tayo, every time mag-open tayo, kailangan po may nasa loob ng isa siyang folder. Lahat ng master file or master files. Okay? So, siguro maganda pong gawin, ano ko na lang, no? Wait lang. Gagawin ko po, ano ko muna, zip ko ulit or i-compress ko po ulit. I will resend it here po and then i-try natin. Ayan. So, kailangan ganito po itsura niya. I will compress, no? Compress natin. Compress. Drag ko po dito. Tapos i-uncompress nyo po ulit. Okay, so yun lang po. No? I think we can proceed now to the last example. Last example po sa window. So under the window, punta lang po ako sa window, meron lang po ako isang gustong i-discuss. Okay? Kumaga, optional lang to, no? But I suggest we can practice this as well. Meron po kami tinatawag na window ribbon. Under here, window ribbon. Ano po yung window ribbon? If you have a window that is corner type, no? Nasa corner ng pader, we might need to use the ribbon window to model it accurately. Because for the ribbon window, ang property po kasi nito is wala siyang dimension. Okay, wala siyang dimension. Meron lang po siyang elevation. Okay, meron lang siyang elevation. I will explain why. I will create a ribbon window. I will create a ribbon window under the element list. Hindi ko na po ipapangalanan or i-edit yung mga informations for now. I will directly draw it using the line command because ribbon window is a line element. Tapos po, i-snap ko lang siya on the outer surface of my wall. Snap ko lang po siya, outer surface of my wall. Right-click to confirm. Okay? So, pag-aralan natin paano na-form ni software yung ribbon window. First of all, one side or one dimension of the window is based on the method of drawing kasi linear po tayo. So yung length na to is based on the line command. So simple as that. Dinidefine natin gaano kahaba yung window panel by drawing a line. Now for the height of your ribbon window, it is defined by the top and bottom elevation of the frame of your window. So this is the bottom, okay? And this is the top. Attribute editor natin. The bottom elevation is 0.9 or 900 mm from the floor bottom elevation. Ibig sabihin daw, ito po ay 900 mm mula sa ilalim, mula siya sa ilalim. For the top, it's 2.7 meters. It's 2,700 mm mula rin po sa ilalim. Okay, so yung reference point po natin sa ribbon window ay palaging mula sa ilalim. That's why we form this rectangularly shaped ribbon or corner window po. Again, it is based on the line command for the length. Okay, and it is based on the elevations for the height, giving us this figure right here. Okay, so yun lang po yung ribbon window. Maybe you can try as well. Try nyo lang mag-draw ng isang ribbon window and check. You can also try to edit the ribbon window. So kunyari gusto ko i-edit yung height, just remember, no? Height is a private attribute. So you might need to select the ribbon window first. No? Select lang natin yung ribbon window. Select these two right here. And then I will edit the elevation. So gawin kong sigurong 1.1. No? So aangat yung ilalim ng 200 mm. Okay, so ganun lang po mag-edit. Remember, elevations are private attributes. So you need to select it first po muna. Regarding sa frame, hindi po natin matanggal yung frame dito. I'm sorry. Again, another limitation of the software in terms of visualization, hindi po natin matanggal yung frame kung talagang tuloy-tuloy siya. So, but don't worry kasi po, si software, pag nag-drawing yan ng ribbon window, butas talaga siya. Wala siyang value at this corner right here. Right? So, yun lang po, no? Ang value kasi ng Windows natin is that hindi niya po kayang ang bibigay niya po is surface area. Ipapunch siya po yung area na yan sa wall. So magbabawas po siya sa wall. Yung frame po, kung wala talaga siya, medyo inaccurate lang at this moment, no? Kasi of course, hindi natin makontrol yung frame. But papakita ko po later on na meron namang calculation si software. So kung gusto niyo po, ang gawin na lang natin is extract na lang yung mga values manually po. Pwede naman po siya. Alright? All right, so that's it for our manual method of modeling. So nag-model na po tayo ng basic for walls and openings. Okay, so ang gagawin na po natin ngayon is auto-identification. We will do the auto-identification process, but again, mind you, this is a bit, medyo tricky po yung auto-identification. We will do multiple steps, actually 8 steps in total that will be reduced into 6. So bawat step po, no, just to remind you, because maraming po nagkakamali ng mga participants or mga BIM users, especially the new ones, in doing the auto-identification for walls and windows. Kailangan po, step by step, eksakto. No? Hindi po tayo pwedeng mag-jump or what unless required, no? Or unless permitted tayo ni software. So again, ulitin ko lang po, step by step po tayo. Okay, let's not jump from one step to the other po para po hindi tayo or para hindi po tayo magkamali. All right? So, let's start with the modeling of doors, windows, and open and walls using the auto identification feature. For now, what I want you to do is to delete everything that is related to that elements. Okay, delete everything. Delete the door, delete the window, delete the ribbon window, and delete the wall. Delete lang po natin. So, i-refresh lang natin yung command na batch select para sabay-sabay na po tayo magdi-delete ng entity. Okay, go to batch under the identify and then select the elements or the entities in the model by their element names to delete, no? So, door, window, and wall. Select nyo po yung wall, door, and window and press OK. And then press delete. Okay. Door, window, opening, and press delete. Okay. Batch select door, window, opening, and press delete. So akin, di ko na po mapakita kasi na-delete ko na siya. Then after you delete the entities, what you need to do is to delete the elements in the element list. So ito po, wala tayong shortcut. I'm sorry. So kailangan nyo pong puntahan yung bawat element. Kunyari wall, delete nyo po yung mga element dun. Door, delete. Window, delete. Ribbon window, delete. So I want to start fresh. Okay, mag-start po tayo ng malinis para po sa auto-identification because we want the software to do the auto-identification for both the entities and the elements in the element list for us. Okay, after deleting the elements needed or the entities needed, ganito na po yung gagawin natin. Mag-auto-identify na po tayo. Okay? So there are two parts of auto-identification. No? There is auto-identification for walls and auto-identification for windows. Okay? Now, again, it is reminded that we need to do it step by step in a properly order. Okay, so ang pinakaunahin po natin ay walls. Walls lang po yung unahin natin. So make sure to go to wall. Okay, don't go to door and window kasi po baka magkamali kayo, no? Kasi meron pong mga commands na parehas sa wall saka sa door and window. So kapag tiningnan ko po, no, if I go to wall, meron po akong pick door and window sideline dito. Sa door, meron rin po akong pick door and window sideline. Kapag po nagamit nyo isa, no, nagamit nyo yung nandito kaysa sa wall, magkakamali po tayo. So make sure that you are on the wall first. The next thing to do is, of course, under the identify, we will proceed with the 4 steps. 4 na steps po. But we will only do 3. Okay, i-skip po natin yung isa. So una po is ipapakita ko muna kung paano mag-auto-identify using these 4 steps. Okay, or 3 steps, I mean, kasi nabawasan na isa. And then I will give you guys time afterwards po to do it on your own. So the first step is this. Pick concrete wall sideline. Pick concrete wall sideline. Okay, pick concrete wall sideline. And then if you press the pick concrete wall sideline, meron pong option, meron pong concrete wall, merong masonry wall. Okay? May concrete wall, merong masonry wall. It depends kung ano po yung properties ng pader nyo. Are these RC walls? Are these normal masonry wall? Kayo po ang bahala. But the rule here is, you can only assign one for all. Kung gusto nyo po i-auto-identify lahat, just assign one. And I suggest assign the governing kung ano po yung pinakamarami. Tapos papalitan na lang po natin ng property mamaya yung hindi, kumbaga kung sinelect natin is masonry wall, ipapalitan na lang natin yung mga iba ng concrete wall if needed. So pupunta po ako sa pick concrete wall and pick wall sideline. I will choose masonry wall kasi gagawin ko po itong CHB. So left click and then just select one line that will represent the whole wall panels, no? The sideline of the wall panels. So ito po, isa-select ko lang. So naka-layer naman po siya. So automatic lahat ng mga wall sidelines masaselect siya. So reminder lang po, no? Reminder lang, kapag nag-select tayo, I suggest don't select on areas na marami pong overlapping lines, no? Somewhere like here, no? Kasi ito po kasi meron rin sideline ng door. So baka yung door po yung ma-select nyo. Or yung window po, I mean, yung ma-select nyo. So I suggest find a perfect spot wherein malinis po. Pader lang talaga nagpapakita. Somewhere here. Left click, and all the wall sidelines will be highlighted based on their layer. Right click to confirm. Right click. So ang mangyayari is ma-absorb po ni software yung layer ng wall natin. That's the first step. The second step is pick door and window sideline. Pick door and window sideline. I will pick the door and window sideline. I will pick the sideline for the door or for the doors and the windows. Separate po kasi silang naka-layer. Okay? Sa door, saka sa window. Select nyo po and then press right click to confirm. Right click. So that is the second step. Okay, wag niyo po i-miss ito, no? Wag niyo po i-miss yan kasi magkakaroon po ng pagkakamali. The third step, this is optional. So pick wall label. So kung may label po yung walls nyo, usually for structural walls, pwede na po kayo mag-pick wall label. Pero kung wala po, ang gagawin ni software, siya po yung magpapangalan based on the thickness of the wall. Okay, so this one, it is optional. And lastly, auto-identify. Okay? But before pressing auto-identify, ang gagawin natin is we will check first if everything is correct. So I will just select pick layer and hide original layer. So ito po yung magiging itsura ng ating walls. Okay, so yan po yung magiging itsura ng ating walls. If you're done, press auto-identify and press yes here. Okay, press yes here. So ito po yung magiging itsura ng walls natin. Okay, so remember lang po, no? Remember na wala pa pong butas ito. Okay, even though nakapag-pick door and window sideline tayo, wala pa po yung butas. I will explain to you why after your practice po. Okay, explain natin mamaya. Again, last repetition, isang ulit na lang po ng mabilisan para po matandaan natin. I will go and press the pick wall sideline and then masonry. Then select a line that is unique, no? Yung wala pong overlapping, right click to confirm. Pick door and window sideline, select the window and the door. Dalawa po yan, window and door. Right click to confirm. Go to pick layer, hide original layer just to check. If done, press auto identify. Don't use the pick label kasi wala po tayong wall label. Okay? Automatically press the auto identify and we will have our door panels. The wall panels na wala pong butas. Okay, so gawin po muna natin yung first 3 steps. Actually, nawala na yung isang step, no? First 3 steps and then after that, proceed po tayo sa opening para butasan po natin sila. Paano po pag gusto kong i-separate yung interior sa exterior wall? So, for the opening po kasi, for the auto-identification po kasi, hindi natin ma-separate yan kasi automatic po, hindi sinisort ni software. So, ang gagawin ko na lang is this. If you want to separate, no? Manually select the walls. Okay? Manually select the walls. Okay? For example, ganyan, no? Select ko yung mga walls na exterior. Tapos po, papalitan ko na lang siya here. Okay? I will make, actually, oo nga pala, no? My mistake. Ang interior and exterior wall kasi is a public attribute. Ibig sabihin, kapag nag-apply po tayo or nag-change tayo ng value na interior or exterior wall, automatic po mag-apply dun sa mga under that element. So, my apologies pero hindi natin magagamit accurately on auto-identification kung gusto po natin ihiwalay interior and exterior walls. Kasi hindi po kina-classify ni software when doing it. So the best thing to do it is to manually draw na lang po. Okay? And don't forget to edit the value. Interior or exterior walls po. So kasi po ang ginagawa ni software, lahat ng pader natin, interior wall po yan. Kasi hindi niya pinaprioritize yung mga location po ng mga doors. Only the size. Okay? Only the size and the door openings po. Now, if you do the auto-identification completely, meron lang po akong ipapalinis sa inyo. No? Papalinis ko lang po sa inyo kasi po, notice this one, may mga ganito, no? Yung mga maliliit na chunk ng wall. This is actually not part of the wall system sana. Okay? Kasi po, part po kasi yan ng, yung mga lines na yan, mga floor drains kasi siya. If floor drain siya, kaya lang, nasama po dun sa sa layer. So ang gawin na lang natin, i-delete nyo na lang po, no? Delete nyo to, saka delete nyo to. Okay, this two right here, no? This one, this one. Hanap pa tayo, baka meron pang iba, no? So yung dalawa lang po, i-delete nyo siya para hindi siya, para accurate naman yung walls natin. So ayan. Now let me explain to you. Bakit tayo nag-pick door and window sideline pero wala naman pinto at bintana? So what is the purpose of pick door and window sideline? So there are two purposes, no? Dalawa po yung purposes na to. And kailangan natin kumbaga, intindihin kung bakit natin ginagawa yung pick door and window sideline even if wala naman pong lumalabas. Number one is that if you pick door and window sideline on the wall auto-identification, alam po ni software mamaya kung saan niya ilalagay yung mga pinto at bintana. That's number one. Kasi nilocate niyo po siya. No? Nilocate niyo po siya using pick door and window sideline. So alam ni software. Hindi na po tayo maglo-locate one by one using the point command yung mga door and window natin. That's one reason. Another reason, let me just go back, no? Let me just go back and then sasadyain ko po itong skip, no? I will undo everything. Okay, I will undo everything. Delete ko na lang siguro. Kahit hindi niya na po gawin ito, no? I-delete ko lang and then ang gagawin ko lang po is okay, gagawin ko, tatry ko mag-pick door and pick masonry wall sideline. Tapos po ang gagawin ko, i-skip ko yung door and window sideline. Ano kaya yung mangyayari? I will skip the door and window sideline. Ano po yung mangyayari? I'll automatically press this identification button. Ito po yung magiging itsura niya. Kapag na-miss yung door and window sideline, may pagkakamali tayo, ito po yung itsura niya. Butas yung ating panel. No? Not a good punch, no? Hindi siya magandang butas. Actually, yung butas niya from the bottom of the wall panel hanggang taas. And we know our door and our window, meron pa po yung header. May header pa po yan. So, kulang na yung quantity natin mamaya. Okay? Meron pang ang zocalo dito sa window. Kulang po yung quantity natin kapag hindi natin or na-miss natin yung pick door and window sideline. Our purpose is not to incorporate automatically the openings. Ang purpose kasi natin is gawin muna yung openings, yung panels in full, tapos bubutasan natin mamaya. Okay? So yun po yung magiging effect. Also, just to teach you, no, or just to enlighten you, bakit naging ganito? If you look closely in our drawings, meron pong mga linya tayo dito. No? May mga linya dito. This one. Ito, yung kulay red na to, and then itong kulay red na to. Ang akala po kasi ni software, termination siya ng wall. No? Akala niya, dito na mag-i-end yung wall. Pero hindi niya alam na hindi siya termination. These are just sidelines of your window panel. So, as we pick the door and window sideline when we're doing the auto-identification of the walls, we're telling the walls to consider extending the walls hanggang dun sa line or hanggang dun sa layer ng window. Kasi hindi po siya termination. They are just openings that we will put later on. Okay? So, yun po yung importance kung bakit hindi natin or hindi po natin kailangan i-miss yung pick door and window sideline because this is the crucial part in identifying the openings later on. Okay? So, that's the explanation po. So, I'll just undo it. Itatama ko lang po. Itama lang natin ang ating mga pagkakamali. So batch select ko lang po itong wall and then delete. Then I will pick the door and window sideline as well para po matama. And then auto-identify. And then delete the other chunks na mali. Okay, so dapat lahat po ganito itsura, no? Ganyan po itsura ng ating walls, no? Wala pong butas, tuloy-tuloy po siya. Now, let us proceed to the latter part, no, yung half no auto-identification, the opening part. Okay, so openings naman tayo. This one, ang purpose naman natin, i-identify naman natin yung dimension ng doors based sa schedule, tapos po i-incorporate natin siya doon sa mga walls natin. Okay? Another 4 steps reduced into 3. Okay, another 4 steps reduced into 3. So let's start po. Go under the door na commands that will be reduced into 3. Okay? So the first command is the identify door and window schedule. So I will do this only. Tapos po, bibigyan ko kayo ng time after we finish the first step. Kasi medyo mahaba-haba po yung method na ito. Identify door and window schedule. Before you press this, go to the window and door schedule first on page 5. Double-click door and window schedule on page 5. Okay? So meron po tayong door and window schedule here. No? Ang gagawin po natin, ipapabasa natin kay software. So kayang basahin ni software yung mga tables natin, yung mga schedules natin in our drawing. Okay? So if you will relate this to other elements, kung meron po kayong BIM schedule, column schedule na nakatabulate, kaya rin pong basahin ni software yun. Okay? I didn't introduce it at first, pero ito po yung an additional feature ni software. Okay? So identify door and window schedule here. Left click po, and then highlight the door and window schedule. Highlight nyo lang po. Release your left button and press right click. So right click again is the confirmation button of the software. So right click. So the software will give you this tabulated information. No? Nakatabulate na po siya. Before we press identify, ito po yung gagawin ko. I will first check and edit the table. Let's just first edit the table. If you notice, column 3, wala pong laman. No? Walang laman yan, itong remarks. I can delete this. It's unnecessary. Press this button. Delete column. Delete column. And press OK. Ito pong second row, this is the header. This is the title of your table. And this is also unnecessary. Why? Kasi po, meron na tayong title dito. May header na tayo dito. Number 1. No? So I will delete this as well. So delete row. Now, before pressing identify, check first the values. All the cells below the header represents element attributes. Okay? Public attributes, I mean, of a certain element. So ito po yung name niya. Lahat ng mga nandito are names. Okay? Lahat ng nandito ay width and height. Lahat ng dito ay type. Is this a door? Is this a window? Okay? Sir, paano kapag mali? No, mali yung pagkaka-assume ni software. You can just change the header. Change it to something that is correct. No? Sabihin natin this is height and width. So, mapapalitan po yung assumption ni software. Alright? Again, change the header if it is wrong. No? The header is wrong before pressing the identify. The software will automatically analyze the names. Kapag letter D yan, it's automatically a door. Pag letter W or letter C, it is automatically a window. Okay, so hindi na po natin kailangan problemahin yung types. If you press identify once, isang beses lang po, and then close it, magpapakita na po sa element schedule natin yung door and window. Okay? Magpapakita na po sa element schedule natin yung door and yung window. So it means that yung ginagawa po natin since first day is the longer method. It's the kumbaga mas traditional method. Creating an element one by one. Where in fact, we can just use a table or even an Excel later on. Mag-upload na lang tayo para hindi na tayo mag-iisa-isa dun sa element list. Okay, hindi na po tayo mag-iisa-isa sa element list. So yun po yung first step. Okay, so ang gagawin ko lang po is ulitin ko lang po ulit, no? Ng mas mabilis para makuha po natin ng mabuti. I will delete the element again, no? The elements again. And I will. So first step is this. Go to page 5. Go to page 5 kung saan po nakalocate yung door and window schedule. Under the door and window opening identify, press identify door and window schedule. Okay? Highlight the table you want to identify. So I will highlight the table I want to identify. Right-click to confirm. Right-click to confirm. The software will interpret the table, giving me a certain number of rows and columns based on the properties of the table. And then, what I need to do is to edit and check. Okay? The first editing I need to do is to delete column 3 because there are no informations stated here. Okay? Delete row 2 kasi may header na po tayo. Delete row 2. And if you check everything here, no? Pag chinek nyo na po lahat na nandito, just press identify and ma-identify na po ni software yung schedule natin. We don't have to add each one by one, each element sa ating element list. Pinroduce na po ni software para sa atin. Okay, so that is our first step. That's our first step. I will give you guys time to do it. And then if you're done, we can proceed to the last steps, no? The remaining steps po. Sir, pwede po bang i-highlight yung mga tinanggal kong row before mag-right click to confirm? I-highlight. Okay, so kapag nag-highlight tayo ng table, isang highlightan lang lahat ng madaanan po. Okay? Kapag po, kunwari na nag-highlight daw tayo ng row, I think this is what he's talking about. No? Kapag nag-highlight po tayo, isang highlightan lang po, no? Bawal po yung parang tatanggalin nyo itong isang part na to. So, mamaya na po tayo mag-i-edit kung gusto po natin tanggalin yung row or yung column na ayaw natin. Also, pwedeng gawin nyo para mas simplified, highlight nyo lang mas maliit. This one, the only table you need. If you press right click, mas simplified na po siya. Pwede rin po yun. Okay, wala naman siyang problema. So make sure that you have 9 doors and 15 windows. 9 doors, 15 windows po. Before we proceed to the second part. So if you're done, just double click on page 6. Doon po tayo magdo-drawing mamaya. Paano incorporate yung stiffener beams and columns? Later on po, ipakita ko sa inyo ng mabilis. Ang pwede po natin gawin is stiffener beams, stiffener columns and lintel beams. Pag stiffener beams po, yung continuous beams at a certain level of the wall, ang kailangan po natin gawin doon is manually model it po. So kailangan natin siya manual model. Pero kung lintel beams po, yung sa mga openings, yung sa taas ng openings, kaya po siyang automatic generate software. And also the stiffener columns. Ipapakita ko po mamaya. Okay, so kung tapos na po tayo on the first step, no? Ko-continue ko na po yung next steps. Continue na ko na po. Go to page 6 and go to the next step po. So ang next step po natin is pick door and window sideline. Pero kung natatandaan nyo po, yung pick door and window sideline, nagawa na po natin yan kanina. You don't have to do this again. Actually, you cannot do this again kasi po na-pick na po yung mga door and window sideline. Okay, hindi na po natin magagawa yan. Go to the door, pick door and window label. Okay? And just select the door and window label. Left click lang po. And then right click to confirm. Remember, kailangan po ng pick door and window label para ma-associate ni software yung mga pangalan sa element list. Okay? And lastly, auto-identify. So if you check the model, the software will locate the openings based on the door and window sideline from the wall identification based from the table that we generated on the first step and based on the label dun po sa ating plano. Okay, so mapapakita po ni software, malolocate niya po yung mga openings sa ating walls. Okay, so now, just a reminder, si software po hindi niya kaya mag-auto-identify ng non-regular openings. Hindi po rectangular. Only the rectangular ones. Hindi niya po kaya mag-identify ng mga ribbon or linear-based openings. So make sure na to check kung lahat po ay na-consider. Kasi kung hindi po na-consider ni software, you might need to do it all over again. I mean, you need to do the other irregular openings manually po. So yun lang po yung reminder ko sa inyo. And actually, we are done with the auto-identification of walls. And actually, the wall topic in general. So kindly do the procedure lang po. After you do the table, pick door and window label po kagad and then auto-identify. Alright, so after this po siguro kasi may nag-request for the stiffener columns, lintel beams, paano po mag-identify, ipapakita ko po sa inyo mamaya. Mabilisan lang po siguro para mag-proceed na po kagad tayo sa finishes kasi medyo mahaba-habang discussion rin po yung finishes. Sir, paano ulit po i-auto-identify yung sa door? Saan part po yung hindi nyo nakuha? Yung first part po ba or yung final part na po yung pag-identify ng labels? Yung final part, okay. Sa final part po, ang gagawin lang natin is this, no? Ando ko lang po siya. After you upload the table, nakapag-tabulate na po tayo ng door and window schedule, I will go straight here. Pick door and window label. Tapos select the label po. Select the label. Right-click to confirm. Tapos po, pwede na kayo mag-auto-identify. Don't miss this kasi po kapag na-miss nyo to, hindi ma-identify ni software yung mga pangalan. Okay, so after that, press auto-identify po. Mamomodel na ni software yung mga pinto natin. So hindi na na-capture ribbon window sa BC? Yes po, hindi siya na-capture. Again, a reminder po, hindi kaya ni software yung mga ribbon windows. Only the rectangular doors lang po. So mapapansin natin on BC, parang isang window lang siya. So kung ganito po yung mangyari, I suggest po that we just model it manually. So delete nyo na lang po ito and then model it manually because as of the meantime po, limitation siya ni software, yung mga corner windows. Okay, it's a grid axis 8 or sa axis 8. Okay, meron daw hindi nabutasan si software, D2, as you can see. Good observation, hindi daw nabutasan D2. Bakit po hindi nabutasan yung D2? Kasi po, hindi pantay sa scale ng ating drawing. Hindi po siya pantay. As you can see here, hindi siya pantay. So yung dito natin, masyadong malapad compared dun sa drawing. So na-confuse si software. So ang gagawin nyo na lang po dito is to apply it manually po. Okay, o kaya gusto nyo baguhin nyo na lang yung dimension ng dito. Si software po ba nag-assign ng elevation ng window? Assumption po ni software is 900 mm po. 900 mm po. Sa grid B po, D5 naka-elevate. Grid B, D5 naka-elevate. Akin po, hindi ata naka-elevate yung D5. Sa iba po ba naka-elevate din yung D5? Paano po i-unpick ang layer? Okay, paano daw i-unpick ang layer? Pick nyo lang po ito, no? Press nyo lang to. Restore pick CAD entity. Restore pick CAD entity. Tapos, mag-free select po kayo. Free select. Saka nyo po i-left click yung mga ayaw nyong i-unpick. No? Or gusto nyo i-unpick. So for example, this one and this one. Then afterwards, press right click. If you press right click po, ma-unpick po siya. Don't press delete sa keyboard. Press right click para po ma-unpick siya. So yun po, nawala siya. But remember, if you press auto-identify na po, wala na pong wala na pong remedyo yun. You might need to delete everything again to redo the auto-identification. Kasi po, kailangan step by step tayo before pressing the auto-identification. Alright, so kamusta po yung pag-auto-identify? Nagawa po ba na iba? Maybe it's better siguro i-save ko na lang po yung aking work. I will save this work. Tapos po i-upload ko na lang po sa ating chat box po. So ito po yung file natin. Uploading it now. So additional information, no? Additional note. Paano daw po mag-generate ng lintel beams, stiffener columns? I will show you, no? You don't have to do this again. Kumbaga additional information lang siya. It's not part of the training. But if you want, pupunta lang po tayo sa column under the stiffener. Okay, this is only possible for masonry walls. So kung masonry walls, kaya po niya. So stiffener, tapos po draw and auto-generate stiffener. Auto-generate stiffener. So magbibigay lang po tayo ng mga informations, no? For the software to. Okay, magbibigay lang po tayo ng informations for the software to generate the stiffener. So for example, what is the section width of your stiffener? So the section width, of course, it can be based on the wall thickness. So pwede pong ganun. What is the section height, the longer dimension of your wall? So it can be, sabihin natin 300. Lastly, arrangement location. So paano po nag-arrange si software? Paano siya nag-arrange? No? Nag-arrange ba siya every intersection ng wall, which is number 1? Every ends of isolated wall. Kapag po nag-terminate yung wall, mag-apply siya. Every side ng door and window with an opening of at least greater than 2.4 meters. So kapag malapad yung window nyo, automatic po mag-generate si software ng stiffener on each sides. And lastly, minimum distance ng wall. So every 3,500 meters, 3,500 mm, magkakaroon po ng stiffener column sa ating wall panel. So if you agree with all of this, just press OK. Tapos po, highlight nyo lang yung lahat ng pader and press right-click. Right-click lang po to confirm. So the software will generate 65 stiffeners, no? Stiffener column. So mapapansin po nyo yan, equal, naka-spacing po siya based po dun sa in-specify po natin. So automatic na po yan. Okay? Ito po yung method ng pag-generate ng stiffener. Also, don't worry about the yung mga overlapping. Nakadeduct na rin po yan sa wall panel natin. So you don't have to do this, no? Pinakita ko lang po sa inyo. Other thing, how to generate lintel beams. Lintel beams naman. So lintel beams are supports from the top of your door and your window. So pupunta lang po ako sa lintel under the door and window opening. Tapos po ang gagawin ko is I will create a rectangular lintel, a lintel beam. And then specify the dimensions of your lintel beam. So paano po tayo mag-specify ng dimension ng lintel beam? Ganito lang po. If this is my window, okay, ito po yung mga dimensions na kailangan natin i-specify. First of all, yung extension mula sa dalawang gilid. Okay? Ito po yan, no? Length of start point saka yung end point natin. Automatic po yung L, yung length ng opening, i-add na po yan ni software. So kailangan niya lang yung start saka yung end po. Of course, you need to specify the dimension as well. The dimension as well po. Yung dimension ng inyong lintel beam. Okay, once you're done specifying these informations, they are mix of public and private attributes. Once you're done specifying them, you can use this one, no? Ito po yung auto-arrange command. Automatic command po ito, no? Wherein, lahat po ng mga gusto nyo i-model na structure na merong parent entity. Ang tawag namin is parent entity. Ibig sabihin, it is based on a certain element or a certain entity in the model. You can use the auto-arrange. So gagawin ko lang po is select auto-arrange and I will just select this one. Door, window, door-win. Itong mahaba na to. And then, highlight all the openings. Highlight. And right-click to confirm. Pag sinilip po nyo yan, meron na yan mga lintel beams. Meron na po yan mga lintel beams. So you don't have to model it manually. Si software na po yung bahala for stiffener columns and lintel beams. Okay? Now, if you have stiffener beams, no, iba pa yun yung, kunwari masyadong mataas yung inyong walls, no, tapos you have to stiffen it at a certain height, yun po hindi kaya ni software. No? So you might need to model a beam element that is elevated along the wall panel. So yun po yung method natin. So the software can only generate lintel beams and stiffener columns po. So that is our topic for the walls. So yun lang po yung topic natin for walls. Again, you don't have to do these stiffener elements po so that we can proceed na po sa openings. I think we are still on time. Medyo delay lang po tayo, but I think kaya naman po nating tapusin within 3 p.m. mark. So before I proceed sa finishes, may I ask po kung meron tayong question. Do you have any questions regarding sa wall modeling? Any question or clarification that you might want to address po before I go to the finishes? Okay, so that's it po for the walls. Let me just proceed to the last topic before having our lunch. So magla-last topic na po ako, the finishes. So this is the last topic for the architectural walls, architectural works. And then later sa afternoon po, we will proceed with the substructure. Sa mga elements po along substructure level, mga foundation and excavations. Okay? So mag-proceed na po tayo sa finishes. So for the finishes, actually there's a lot to discuss here kasi po maraming methods ang pag-model ng finishes. Okay? Each type of finish, wall finish, floor finish, ceiling finish, suspended ceiling finish, skirting, waterproofing, iba-iba po yung methods of modeling natin. Okay? So for this training, hindi po namin mamomodel lahat sa inyo ng isa-isa, bawat method manually. Instead, I will use what we call the room arrangement. Ito po yung pinakamabilis, pinaka-efficient way in modeling, the room arrangement. Okay, so ano po yung idea ng room arrangement, no? Excuse me. Ang room arrangement po is something like this. Kung meron akong room, for example, I have a room right here, ang gagawin ko po is papangalanan ko muna yung room na to. What is the use of this room? No? For example, this is CR. And gagawa po ako ng CR element. After creating a CR element, gagawa po ako niya ng mga attachment. No? I have a tiles at my wall. I have a tiles at my floor. I have my waterproofing. I had my drywall seal. I have my moisture-resistant ceiling or gypsum board. So, mag-a-attach po ako ng mga finishes at each surface of my CR. Pag nilagay ko po ito dito sa area na to, automatic lahat sila didikit sa bawat surface area nung room na yun. Maski floor, maski wall, maski ceiling. And also, automatic po, ibabawas yung mga openings. Okay, so that is what we call room arrangement. It is somehow auto-identification pero semi lang, no? Hindi siya fully auto-identification. Ibig sabihin po, i-identify lang natin or i-specify lang natin a certain room tapos po si software na yung bahala mag-apply ng mga finishes. Okay? So yun po yung idea ng room finishes. Another thing, okay? Another thing, lalabas po sa quiz ito, no? Another thing, lalabas sa quiz. Ang room finishes, it cannot be applied on exterior area, only on interior and closed room. Kasi po ang idea kasi niyan is, you're putting sets of finishes on an enclosed room. So kung open po yan, hindi na alam ni software kung hanggang saan yung extension, hanggang saan yung end ng room na yun. Okay? So only in interior rooms. Remember that, interior. Big letter interior. Okay? Pero meron po tayong workaround mamaya. Ituturo ko sa inyo paano kapag exterior, paano ko po kapag hindi enclosed yung room, may gagawin po tayong another procedure. Okay? So yun lang po yung ating kailangan tandaan for these finishes. The manual method, kung may time po tayo later, ipapakita ko po sa inyo. But again, masyado pong marami. No? We have 7 types of finishes in our software. So, to apply finishes, just go to finishes. Dito po, no? Finishes. And I will just give you one example. Okay, isang example po muna tayo. Sabay-sabay po tayo, no? I will zoom in. Make sure that you overlay yung ground floor architectural plan. So I will zoom in the architectural plans here. Wet kitchen. Okay, wet kitchen. Ngayon, ang gagawin ko lang po is this. I will go to room and I will create or assign a room name first. Okay? Ang room name na to is wet kitchen. So I will create a room and then papangalanan ko siyang wet kitchen. Kasi later on po, mag-a-attach po ako ng finishes inside this wet kitchen room. Okay? So room, add an element, wet kitchen element. Wet kitchen element. Now, as you can see here, pwede na tayo mag-attach ng finishes. I have 6 types of finishes that can be attached on the wet kitchen. Okay? So, mag-attach na po tayo ng finishes. Napakadali lang po mag-attach ng finishes. Ganito lang po ang gagawin natin. Press this plus button. New, and then attach the finish you want. Let's say I want to attach a horizontal floor finish. Okay? So, automatic po, may lalabas na horizontal floor finish code FF1. Okay? So, kayo po bahala kung paano niyo ipangalan yung code, no? Pwede niyo pong pangalan per material, per brand, per paint code, per code ni architect, etc. Kayo po bahala magpangalan ng name. But just remember that the name is what we are interested, no? Kasi po yan po yung gagawin nating attribute for sorting purposes. Iso-sort po kasi natin yung mga areas per name. Okay? Again, kunwari wala pong waterproofing, I'll jump to the skirting. I will add a skirting. Automatic, gagawa na si software ng skirting na pangalang skirting-1. It's up to you again if you want to change the name of the skirting. Gusto niyo pong gawing wood skirting, paint na skirting, no? Kayo po bahala magpangalan. Now, in the floor finish, yung floor finish po natin, wala na tayong kailangang i-edit dito, no? Yung thickness actually optional lang, no? Very negligible in thickness for the floor finish because we are just particular to the area. Kasi area po kasi mga ginagamit natin for costing purposes. Sa skirting po, pwede nating i-adjust yung height ng skirting. Okay, usually 4 inches, 6 inches. So gagawin ko na lang sigurong 4 inches. Okay, but it's up to you kung gusto niyo pong palitan yung dimension ng skirting. Again, let's attach another element. I'll select wall. Mag-attach naman po ako ng pintura ng wall. Wall finish. So meron na po akong WF1. WF1. And lastly, I will attach a ceiling. Okay? There are 2 types of ceilings here. We have the ceiling finish. We have the suspended ceiling finish. So kapag ceiling finish po, remember, pipintura ni software yung mga biga, yung mga slab sa taas ng floor na to. Okay? Surface area po mismo, hindi na natin kailangan problemahin kung na-cover yung beam sides. Pag suspended naman po, the software will use only projected area that is protruded below the ceiling level. Okay? So, for this example, gagamit lang muna ako ng suspended ceiling muna. Attach a suspended ceiling. Okay? So, sabi ni software, ang name ng suspended ceiling is SC-01 SC-1 with the height above floor of 2.7 meters. Okay, so kung naka-elevate yung suspended ceiling, 2.7 meters above the floor level. So yun lang po yung pag-define ng room. Basically, we just want to create a room and then attach an elements. Ito po yung mga elements na attach natin. We have the floor, we have the skirting, we have the wall, we have the suspended ceiling. If you want to further edit the finishes, you can go to the sub-finishes below. Magpapakita po yung mga inattach natin. I have the floor here, I have the skirting here, I have the wall here, I have the suspended ceiling here. So pwede po natin gamitin yung sub-finishes below room. Ito pong mga sub-finishes na to, pwede natin siyang gamitin if you want to manually apply it. Dito po tayo sa ilalim. Pero kung gusto niyo po per room, dito tayo sa taas. Okay? So yun lang po yung gusto kong ituro. Now, after you define your room, no, meron na kayong element, meron na kayong naka-attach floor, skirting, wall, ceiling. Use the point command. Point command to snap, parang slab lang po. Click on an enclosed area. Okay? Left click and you will see. We already have the wall finish. Naka-separate na rin po yung finish from concrete and masonry based on the color. We have the skirting. Nasa ilalim po yung skirting. We have the floor finish. Nasa ilalim po yung floor finish. And we have the suspended ceiling finish. Ito po yung suspended ceiling. Sumobra lang sa ating bintana. Pero ito po yung suspended ceiling. So that's how we apply finishes. Isang pindutan na lang po on an enclosed area. And that's it. I-apply na po ni software lahat ng element finish na naka-attach. Okay, so yun po yung topic natin for the, yun po yung first example natin. Later on, I will teach you kung paano po yung finish natin ay hindi on an, not on an enclosed area. Kumbaga open area po siya. Okay, so siguro before I let you do it, let me just do what I did before. Repeat what I did before. Try naman natin sa utility. Okay, for utility, select room, edit the name to utility, and then attach floor finishes. Okay? If you have your existing floor finish, instead po na dito, kunin nyo na lang dito. Dito po. So floor finish, skirting, so nire-recycle ko lang yung finish ko kanina, wall finish, and suspended ceiling. And then, use the point command to apply on an enclosed area. Remember, enclosed area and magkakaroon na po ulit ng finishes dyan. Okay, so makikita nyo rin po merong green colored line here. Ito po yung finish na galing sa beams, sa beam sides po. Kaya po nilagay ni software yan. So that's it po for our topic. Ito po yung topic natin, yung first example natin. I will give you guys time to apply one finish on one area only, kahit isang room lang po. And then we will proceed to the next topic po. The next topic regarding finish. So marami pa po tayong topics. We still have at least 4 topics regarding finishes po. So I'll just wait for you guys. If you have questions po, feel free to message me in our chat box. And if you're done, you can type the thumbs up button para po alam ko kung magpo-proceed na po ako. Salamat po. Bakit daw po hindi nag-appear yung floor finish? Kasi po naka-turn off yung layer. So, you can see here sa finishes, meron pong mga naka-color blue and color white or black. Kapag naka-black point, naka-turn off siya. So, you can just press the hotkey, the letters po. For example, floor finish, no? Kunyari po, this one. Oops, sorry. Ayan, kunyari ganito, no? If I press F, magpapakita po yung floor finish. If I press H, magpapakita po yung suspended ceiling finish. Okay, wala pong problema. Sir, paano pag kapag gusto ko ng no finish sa wall above ceiling finish? No finish sa wall above ceiling. I see this one, no? I have to check pa po, no, kung paano tanggalin ito, yung above suspended ceiling. Nandito po yan sa measurement settings actually. Nasa measurement settings siya. Kaya lang hindi ko lang po ganong gamay, no? So you can see here sa measurement settings, meron po tayong wall finish. So let me just check lang po siguro after this training. Hindi ko kasi ganong gamay, no? I think I already saw this one, this case before, na gustong itanggal nila yung finish above the suspended ceiling po. Okay, try nga natin. Parang meron ata siya. Finish. I'll just get back to you po. No? I'm sorry. Iko-confirm ko lang po sa product team. Usually kasi, according to the measurement settings, what we can do is to set yung height, yung top elevation ng wall finish natin to suspended ceiling bottom elevation. But upon checking po kasi dito sa ating attribute editor, wala tayong suspended ceiling na option. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm not familiar for now. So I'll just get back to you regarding this po. Yes po, masa-separate siya. Masa-separate po siya. So kapag pinakita niyo po dito, this one, meron po tayong wall finish. May wall finish po tayo along the structure part, which is in color green. And then yung blue po is for masonry part. So mamaya po pwede po natin siyang i-associate kung ano po yung parent entity niya. Kasi minsan kasi yung costing, usually yung substrate nito naka-plastering pa tayo kapag masonry. Tapos kapag structure naman, usually rub concrete, makinis na kasi yung mga bigas saka column natin. So yun po. Pwede natin i-separate later on. So any more questions? Baka may questions pa po tayo regarding the finishes. Before we proceed to another example, again regarding finishes, paano po kapag merong open area or paano po kapag walang enclosure? So I will teach you how to deal with it po. Ano po kapag may dalawang finish sa wall sa isang room? Ano pong finish? You mean substrate and top coat po ba? Or dalawang layer ng finish po? Okay, so siguro sagutin na lang po natin yung isang part ng wall substrate, the rest isang part ng wall, then paint sa isang part naman, then the wall substrate yung rest ng wall. Okay, actually dalawa yung considerations, no? Isang layer, kumbaga 2 layers, isang substrate, isang top coat, for example, or dalawang layers, ibig sabihin sa ilalim, tile, sa taas, pintura. So actually pwede po natin gawin 'yan, no? Pero the first example, yung double layer, medyo gray area po 'yan, no? I will tell you why. Under the quantity kasi and then measurement settings, meron kaming tinatawag po na under the wall finish, may tinatawag kaming show custom finish. Okay? If I use this show custom finish po, meron kaming parang rule number 8, set value above suspended ceiling, or pwede po tayo mag-assign ng dalawang finishes dito. Say for example, I draw it. Kunyari meron akong pader dito. Tapos meron akong ceiling, suspended ceiling dito. Ang gagawin po ni software is this. Lalagyan niya ng substrate. Okay, lalagyan niya substrate. Lahat pwede po. Pwede, ganyan. Tapos lalagyan niya ng pintura like what we want kanina po. No? I'm sorry, I cannot find lang po yung actual name ng elevation. Pero ang gagawin po ni software is this. Lalagyan niya po ng pangalawang pintura. Pwede po yan. No, pwede siya. Double layer siya. Ang problema lang po dito is this. Hindi natin mapangalan yung custom area. I cannot name this as plaster. Or I cannot name this as scheme coat, no? Scheme coat, parang ganyan. Ang name lang po ng first layer, yung inner layer, is custom area. Yun lang po yung name niya. So, what our clients usually do is this. Nire-relate na lang nila yung quantity ng custom area based on the location, of course. So, pwede naman natin i-relate na, of course, kapag nakadikit to on masonry walls, I will use this kind of substrate. Kapag po nakadikit to sa surface ng concrete, I will use this kind of substrate. So, ganun po sila mag-work around yung mga clients po namin. So, that is the answer for the first question. Second question, paano naman po kapag dalawang layer from the panel itself? So, for example, tiles sa ilalim, tapos sa taas naman po ay pintura. Ano po ang gagawin natin? So, the idea here is to mix and match lang po yung elevation attribute. Okay, elevation attribute. I will show you how. For example, meron po akong wall dito. Okay, may wall tayo, for example, somewhere here. Now, we can only do multiple wall layers kapag po magma-manual tayo. So maybe I think it's better ituro ko na lang yung manual ng walls. I will go to wall finish and we have a lot of ways to model the walls. Siguro tuturo ko na lang po yung point command. Okay? But before that, I need to create two wall finish elements. So I will create another wall element. Papangalanan ko po siguro to na tiles, for example, tiles. The first one is I will model the tiles using the point command. So point command can be done by tilting the structure. I-tilt nyo po yung structure, tapos i-hover nyo lang po yung mouse nyo along the wall area. So magpapakita po ito. Ayan. Ito na po yung wall finish natin. The next thing to do is this. I will select the wall paint and then edit the elevation. I will edit the top elevation, ma-minus ko, let's say, 1 meter. So, matitrim na po siya. And then, the next thing I will do is to add another wall finish. Okay? I-apply ko po ulit dito. But, mind you, the software, ang software kasi, malilito yan. So, much better, ang gagawin po natin is this. Babaguhin na natin yung elevation niya before pa i-apply. Okay? Ang rule po kasi ng private attribute is this. Kapag wala po kayo sinelect na element sa ng entity sa model nyo and binago nyo po yung private attribute, susunod po siya dun sa next na element na idodraw nyo. So mag-apply siya sa next element na idodraw nyo. So for example, sa bottom elevation, magma-minus ako ng 3 meters. And then I will draw it here. Okay, so makikita nyo po, this is my first layer and this is my second layer po. So pwedeng itong sa ilalim, itong sa ilalim ay tiles, ito pong sa ibabaw ay pintura. So ima-manual po natin for this part. Okay, so yun lang po, no? You don't have to do this. I just demo it para po kahit paano may idea tayo how to do it. So that's it po. What I will do next, so gawin na po natin is yung ang gagawin na po natin is how do we put paint, no? Paano po tayo maglalagay ng pintura on partial area? Okay? Or how do we put finishes on areas that are not enclosed? So for example, this one. As you can see here, meron po akong dry kitchen. May wet kitchen, may casual dining po ako. Wala pong enclosure sa kanila. Even my casual dining, wala pong enclosure. Bukas po ito. So ang gagawin po natin is we need to enclose this first. Because according to the rule, no, according to the question that will come from the quiz, no, bawal po mag-apply ng finishes on unenclosed area. Only for interior enclosed area lang po. So we need to close this. Kailangan po natin siyang isara. Paano po natin siya isasara? So for us to close this, ganito lang gagawin. I will go to draw and use the separation line. Meron po kaming command called the separation line. So ang separation line po, ang purpose nito is obviously to separate one area to the other, no? To the other area. Now, ang separation line po, wala pong quantity yan. Okay, wala siyang quantity. So pwede tayong gumawa or mag-drawing ng kahit gaano karaming separation line, hindi po makaka-affect sa quantity yan. Okay? Kumbaga guide lang po siya for modeling purposes. So draw the separation line, line command, and then i-draw nyo lang po. Right-click to confirm. So meron na po akong separation line. That easy lang po, no? So kapag tiningnan nyo po, sir, parang walang separation line but invisible po yan, no? Kumbaga, medyo malabo. So just hover your mouse while you are on the select mode, makikita nyo po, meron akong separation line. And that's when we will apply the room finish. Okay, for example, gagamitin ko lang po yung mga previous room finish ko, apply ko lang siya. Papansin nyo po, disconnected na siya, no? Discontinued na po siya. So anything na mahagip ng separation line, no? Wala po siyang quantity at that plane. Only the ones na meron pong physical entity. May wall, may column, okay? May opening po. Doon lang po magte-take effect yung mga finishes natin on the vertical parts po. So that's how we use the separation line. Alright, so ulitin ko lang po, no? Ulitin ko lang po before you do it. I will use the separation line under the draw and then draw a line to enclose an area from here to here. Right-click kung tapos na po. Right-click kung tapos na po and then right-click again to end the separation command. So meron po akong separation line here. Then proceed in modeling or in applying the finishes po. So automatic po yan. I-discontinue ni software yung room finish at the separation plane po. Okay, so yun lang po yung second topic natin regarding finishes. Can you please guys do it on your part po? Try lang natin kahit isang room lang po using the separation line before I proceed to the next topic po. Ang next topic natin is to model or to put finishes on the exterior area. So paano naman tayo maglalagay ng finishes on exterior area? Alright, so yun po yung example natin for the separation line. Okay, so excuse me. In relation to that, paano naman po magse-separation line kapag paano naman po gagamitin yung separation line in modeling exterior finishes, specifically the exterior wall finish. So, as discussed previously, bawal po tayo mag room finish at exterior area kasi hindi po siya enclosed, no? If I press here, the area to draw entities by point is not enclosed. So, our trick here is we will enclose the whole structure with separation line. Enclose natin yung whole structure with separation line. Okay? So, paano po natin i-enclose yung whole structure with separation line? What I will do is this. I will go to separation line and then I will press the rectangular method. No? Okay, ulitin ko lang. Separation line and then rectangular method. Separation line, rectangular method. Before you draw this, make sure that naka-turn on po yung inyong random point. Make sure naka-highlight po ito. Kasi po kung hindi naka-highlight ito, hindi ka po kayo makakapag-draw ng entity sa labas ng inyong drawing space. Okay, so make sure naka-combine po ito or naka-activate po ito. Tapos select or draw a rectangular separation line. Okay? And then right-click to confirm. So, again, the separation line is somehow invisible pero kapag hinover niyo po yung mouse niyo, meron po dyan. Okay, nagtatago lang siya. Now, the next thing that we need to do is this. We will create an element. Okay, I will create a room element called exterior wall. Okay, exterior wall. Exterior wall. Okay? And then, instead of me applying all the finishes, mag-attach lang po ako isang wall finish. So, wall finish and then I will apply a new wall finish. Ita-type ko lang po dito is exterior wall or siguro EE na lang, EW na lang, E-wall. EW01. So, the idea here is I will use the room finish to apply on the exterior area and also by enclosing it with a separation line para alam ni software or akalain ni software na nasa interior room po siya. Lastly, just use the point command to apply outside the structure. Okay? And you will notice pag tineld po natin, ganito po yung mangyayari. May finish na po lahat ng surface. Lahat ng surface po sa ating structure meron na pong finish sa labas. Because tinrace po kasi ni software yung surface na yan, yung outside surface ng wall natin based on the room finish we applied. Okay, so ganun po tayo mag-apply ng room finish sa exterior area. But again, if the quiz asks you, bawal talaga sa exterior, dinaya lang po talaga natin siya. Okay, so ulitin ko lang po, no? I will undo it. Undo lang natin. Okay. Ulitin ko lang. Separation line, rectangle. Okay, rectangle, separation line, random point, enclose area, enclose area. After you enclose the area, element list create an exterior wall. Attach a wall finish wall finish. Pangalanan nyo na lang po ng exterior finish, no? EF01. Use the point command to apply outside the area. Left click and that's it po. Meron na po tayo exterior wall finish. So that is our example for this time po. So can you try this? Try to apply exterior wall finish on your ground floor and then we will proceed to the last two examples po before we take our lunch po. Alright? So if you have questions, feel free to message me sa ating chat box for clarifications. If none po, if you're done, you can type thumbs up sa ating chat box po for me to proceed. Salamat po. Possible po ba gumamit na lang separate wall finishes kapag naka-per room element list? I think it's not possible, no? Let me just check. Hindi po ata possible yun. Double wall finish. Let's try to add another. I'm not sure kung i-apply niya po yan successfully. Kasi I think isa lang ata i-apply niya. Check lang natin. Let me just check this, no? Ayun po, no? I think isa lang po yung ma-apply niya. Isa lang po yung ma-apply niya. For now po kasi alam ko limitation talaga yan. I've discussed it with the product team. Isa lang po yung ma-apply niya. So bawal po tayo mag double finish, no? So hindi i-disregard niya yung mga ibang in-attach, no? Bawal po tayo mag double finish for now. Unless we do what I show you before, yung under the measurement settings, tapos i-activate po natin yung custom finish. If we activate it, magiging dalawang quantities po yan, separate. All right, so that's it for our that's it on how we tackle yung ating exterior finish. I will show you last two topics po or last two points, no, before we end our lunchtime. So the first one is pwede po tayo maglagay ng texture sa ating finishes. Ibig sabihin pwede po natin lagyan ng design yung finish natin. So if you look closely kasi, our finishes, they look dull. They look like just plain flat blue color or green color or red color. Nakakalito po minsan actually, no? So what we can do is this. We can go to the sub-finish. Okay, to the sub-finish, we want to apply texture. Let's say wall finish. I want to change the design of my exterior wall, no? So I will go to EF1. Okay, I will go to EF1 under the sub-finish. Tapos po, pipindutin ko yung material texture. Okay, I will press this empty space right here. And this is where I can import a picture. So if you have a picture, a swatch, okay, you search a picture from Google, gusto nyo po i-incorporate para mas maganda yung design ng structure nyo, you may do so. Using this material texture. So lagyan ko lang po ng texture, no? Let's say this one, brick combine. Okay? By default po, meron na tayong texture sa software. So, if you install the software, meron na po mga default textures that you can use po. And then press open. So, pag ganyan po, just press select. And makikita nyo po, naka-brick na po yung design ng ating structure. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean na pwede nating scale or bilangin yung brick. No. Ang ginagawa lang po nito is mas maganda pong tingnan, number one. Number two po, it's easier to distinguish or to identify po. Okay? So yun po yung feature natin. And this is applicable also on other finishes. I will show you. Paano naman pag floor finish? Just go to floor finish, select the finish element you want to apply texture, and press material texture. Import the picture you want. So for example, gusto kong gawin tiles, no? Tiles. So tile 1 and press open. And then select the tile, no? Select the tile picture and press select. So mangyari po is i-apply ni software yung tile design, no? Yung picture ng tiles na in-upload natin on our model. So in return, kumbaga mas madali pong i-check, mas madaling i-visualize kung anong type.
Papa lang yan niya po ni ma, mag-blower na yun niya. Nema.
Okay, so yun lang po yung custom, yung material texture. Siguro ulitin natin one last time. Let's try it on walls again. And I will use the WF1. Yung WF1 po na ginawa natin. Material texture. Import, select a texture. Okay, let's say this is a mosaic, for example. No, I'm just guessing mosaic, and open, and then select the one you want to upload, and press select. So magte-texturize po yung ating wall based doon sa design na sinelect natin. Okay, so yun lang po yung method na gusto nating i-incorporate para mas madali po mag-visual para alam natin kung anong klaseng wall finish. Unang tingin pa lang po. What if meron ka na pong wall finish, texture, floor finish, material texture sa previous project? Pwede po ba i-import sa new project? Okay, for importation, yung copying po kasi from other projects, pwede po. Pwede po yan. We have what we call, under the BIM model, meron po kasi kaming tinatawag na export, no? Export by element or entity. So kumbaga, ita-transfer ko po yung mga elements ko, the properties of that element I created, and the actual location from one project to another using the export method. So this is the function of the Cubicost software to operate, no, with each other. So kung meron po kayong TAS software na multiple users, pwede po sila magpasahan. Okay? Kung meron po kayong TAS user tapos yung isa nagre-rebar, pwede rin sila magpasahan ng information. So ipapasa ni TAS yung concrete structures niya kay TRB para babakalan niya po. So that is one good feature of our software, the interoperability between users. Okay? And if you have big structure, let's say 20-story, 30-story, and marami kayong QS, kung marami po kayong software, marami kayong license, what you can do is you can divide, no? Kunyari, user 1, 5-story, user 2, 5-story, etc. So in a way, mabilis na mag-model sa TAS, mas mapapabilis pa kasi sabay-sabay po kayo gumagawa. Okay? So pwede po magpasa, pwede mag-interoperate yung different projects natin. What if ang finish po is stone sa backsplash and countertop? Pwede po kaya siya? Okay, another limitation of the software po, no, hindi kaya ni software yung mga yung mga tawag dito, parang mga cabinets, no? We don't have an element for cabinets. Pwede naman po gawin natin is this, no? Gagawin ko, parang re-remedyoan ko siya. I will create a wall, a very small wall, let's say a wall of sabi nating height niya is 1 meter lang siguro or 900 mm just to represent the frame or the figure of the kitchen countertop, no? For example, gagawa po ako ng start top minus 3 meters. Something like that. Magdodraw ko ng wall from here. Tapos ang thickness siguro 50 mm lang. Pwede naman po natin gawin ng paraan. Kaya this one, no? Tapos pwedeng gawin, create ako ng slab. Okay? I-create ako slab, pero this time, gagawin ko, i-elevate ko siya ng 1 meter. Okay? Elevate ko siya ng 1 meter. And then I will draw it. Parang ganyan, no? Parang ganyan. Now what I will do is I will just put floor finish here sa countertop natin para kahit paano ma-identify natin or ma-quantify po natin. So basically, the software cannot generate values from fixtures, no? Sa mga fixture or furnitures natin, I mean. But we can have this workaround wherein i-model na lang po natin sila using our available elements. Tapos lagyan na lang natin. Meron po tayong mape-present. For the backsplash, pag backsplash siguro, pwede natin gawin is skirting. Pwedeng gawin skirting siguro. So skirting. Lalagyan ko siya dito, no? Skirting. Manual po, line, skirting. Kunyari dito. Okay, tapos po i-extend ko to. Iangat ko to by 1 meter. Meron na akong skirting, kaya lang di ata kita kasi may opening tayo. So, for example lang dito na lang sa gilid. Kunyari, meron akong skirting somewhere here. I-elevate ko lang po yan by 1 meter. Kaya lang di siya magpapakita kasi may opening, no? So, siguro, lagay na lang natin dito sa gilid. For example lang po, meron tayong backsplash dito. I will just elevate it later on. So, plus 1 meter. So, these combinations, this can represent yung mga maliliit na interior works natin, mga ID works natin. Kasi po si software kasi, they are not designed to do interior designing, no, or interior works. Mostly yung mga general architectural works lang po, like the ones shown here po. Alright, so that's it po. I hope that answers your question. And before we have our lunch, may ituturo po ako sa inyong last topic. Okay, this last topic is very important. Actually, makakatulong po ito sa hindi lang po sa finishes but to all other elements. Okay? So kung natatandaan natin kanina, nag-identify po tayo ng table sa door and window. May possibility rin na hindi ma-identify ni software completely kung medyo weird looking yung table. So what we can do is this. We can upload an Excel in the software. The software can read Excel files. Okay? So if I go to draw, under the room, if I go to draw and finish schedule, okay? Finish schedule, I can upload an Excel. Okay? I can import an Excel po. Okay? Import an Excel and import lang po natin yung Excel na kasama po dun sa training materials. If I left click this, press open, and then matatabulate na po ni software yung Excel. So ang format po ng finishes dito, ng finish schedule dito is this one. Meron po tayong room finish dito. And lahat po ng ka-align ng room finish, yung mga substrate or sub-finishes niya at that room. So for example, my wet kitchen has a floor finish of F3, a skirting of S2, an exterior wall of W1, a ceiling finish of C2. So ganun po yung format natin. Room finish muna, tapos isa-isay nyo po. Floor, skirting, wall, ceiling, and suspended ceiling. Para automatic na po, gagawa na si software ng element, room element sa ating element list. Hindi na po tayo mag one by one create. Okay, so to edit this, ganito lang po, no? Delete the second row again because we don't need this second row. We don't need this one. Just press delete row and then we will just check. I-check lang po natin kung tama yung mga values. Check natin kung tama yung values. Okay? So on your first column, ito po ay mga pangalan ng room. Okay? Ito po yung mga pangalan ng room. So ito po, no? So yan. Pangalawa is floor finish. Yung floor finish naman po, these are tags of your floor finish, F3, F1, F4, and F2. The next one is skirting po. Skirting po ay, of course, this can be tags as well. Okay? Pero ang kagandahan po kasi dito sa software, pwede tayong mamili. Do you want tag or do you want material? Okay? Do you want tag or do you want material? Now, kung gusto niyo po materially magpakita, papalitan niyo lang po to as your floor finish. So magsi-switch po yung name from F3 to the material right here. Ang problema lang po, hindi pwedeng sabay. Hindi pwedeng silang dalawa kasama sa name. Only one cell is represented by the name. Okay? Kung gusto niyo naman, gawin niyo na lang is i-assign niyo na lang po to as floor finish tapos i-copy niyo na lang yung pangalan papunta dito. So parang ganyan. Para kahit pa paano, makita niyo yung buong information nung yung buong information po ng ating finish. Okay? So yun po. So for now, I'll just use the tags. No? Use ko na lang po yung tags. Lastly, yung mga open areas, these are not required na merong value. Okay? Hindi po kailangan may value ito. Kasi po, yung mga areas na to, okay, yung mga areas na to, pwede kasing wala dun sa room na yun. So you can leave this as blank. You can leave this as blank and press identify. What the software will do, okay, iano ko na lang, i-modify, nakalimutan ko pala mag-delete no, ng mga finishes on my element list. I will just modify and then press OK. Ang gagawin po ni software is this. No? Gagawin ni software is this. Mag-create po siya ng finish elements here. Okay? Room finish elements here. And may naka-attach na po ng mga element types, sub-finishes. So, in a way, hindi na po natin kailangan isa-isain lahat. No? In a way, hindi na po natin kailangan isa-isain, i-attach bawat room. Mag-upload lang po tayo na Excel and that's it. Okay? So, ulitin ko lang po yung ginawa ko. No? Ulitin ko lang yung ginawa ko. Before I do this uploading of Excel, siguro i-delete ko muna lahat kasi nagkaroon po ng error kanina. So, I will just batch select all the finishes and delete it. Delete ko na rin yung element list, no? And i-delete ko na rin po yung mga finishes sa ilalim. Para lang po walang ma-duplicate kasi kanina nag-duplicate, no? Nakalimutan ko pong mag-delete. Now, after this, punta lang po tayo sa draw and then finish schedule. Tapos po, upload an Excel file. Upload the one we've sent to you in the training materials and press open. Tapos po, i-delete ko yung row number 2. Row number 2. I'll just delete row number 2. Kasi po, hindi natin kailangan yung header. And then afterwards, press identify po. Press identify. And the software will automatically identify the finishes based on our Excel table. Okay? So yun po. Yun po yung ating methods of identification sa Excel. One question, what if we have precast wall and we have sealant works on the gaps? How can we quantify it here? I'm sorry, yung mga miscellaneous works po, no? The miscellaneous works, consumables, the software cannot do that. Yung mga sealant, yung mga nails, yung mga framing ng suspended ceilings, something like that. The software has limitations regarding that because the only software can provide you are anything that is based on count, anything that is based on volume, on area, and on linear. So unless po i-trace natin yung mga gaps ng mga precast natin, yun lang po yung method ng pag-quantify po natin. Okay, so also just ano lang po, short request lang po. There are participants po kasi na hindi makapag-open nung file na binibigay ko. I'm sorry, I'm not sure why. So sa mga nakatapos po no or nakasunod po. Okay? Nakasunod po ng mga ng seminar natin. Is it okay? Is it possible po na i-save muna natin yung file natin? Save po muna natin yung file natin. And then dun sa file location, kindly compress your file. Okay? Kung okay lang po, kindly compress your file. Compress. Tapos po i-upload natin dito sa chat box. Okay? For the others to follow kasi po I think may problem po ata sa akin. Hindi po ata mabuksan ng iba yung file ko. Tama po ba? I see. Okay, hindi daw po mabuksan ng file ng ibang participant yung file ko. So I'm requesting po yung mga kind-hearted there, the participants there who finished most of the commands that we did. Pwede pong pa-share yung ating task file para po makasunod na iba. Sir, even if EIFS and wall cladding kasama sa mga limitation, yes po, actually yung EIFS, usually kasi 'di ba pag EIFS contractor, ang ginagawa nila per square meter na area. Tapos meron pang mga partial frame, may full frame pa siya. And that EIFS actually, hindi natin ma-quantify materials. Remember that the software is not a BOM-based material. It's a BOQ-based. It's a quantity, a surface area based. So pwede naman, if you want to quantify the surface area of EIFS, what we can do is assign a certain wall. No? For example, gagawin ko na lang po, gagawa ko ng wall. And then I will make the attribute here as a non-structural wall or maybe a filler wall. No? Tapos po, papalitan ko yung pangalan niya maybe into light panel. And then if I quantify this, the area here or this material right here, pwede kong kunin yung surface area so that kung kailangan po natin ipa-quote sa mga EIFS contractor, yung mga drywall contractors, they have, kumbaga meron tayong idea kung gaano karami in terms of square meter. But again, in terms of material, the raw materials, the software cannot do that po, unfortunately. Wala pong problema. Ayun po, may mga nag-share po. You can try it, no? Also, I just want to share with you yung aking software version. Dito po yan sa About, no? Sa About. If you go to Start and then About, meron po tayong software version. So my software version is 5.10.10300. So baka po yung binigay sa inyo is 5.10.10,000. So mas older version. So baka hindi po nyo na mabuksan kasi po hindi po kasi backward compatible si software. So I'm sorry, I'm not sure kung ano po yung pinrovide sa inyong installer. So maybe for the others, baka po mabuksan nyo. Baka po 5.10.10,000 po yung gamit nila. Okay? So apologies for that. Sir, pwede pa send din po nung sa inyo. Ito po yung akin. Siguro isend ko na lang po dito. Again, just a quick reminder po. Baka hindi nyo mabuksan kasi po baka meron iba po yung ating software version. So, ito po. Ito po yung akin. May problems pa rin po, kindly message me, no? Kung may problems pa rin opening other files, kindly message me. I will try to remote connect on your PC po para makita natin yung problem. So, Actually, that's it po for our training for today. Siguro i-summarize ko na lang po yung diniscuss natin for this morning before you guys take your lunch. First of all, we did wall finishes. Okay, I'm sorry, we did wall modeling, no? So for the wall modeling, we have two methods, the manual way and the auto identification way. Now, for the manual way, ang ginagawa po natin is we just trace the wall panels using the line command. And then for the openings, ganun lang rin po, no? Ilolocate lang natin yung pinto or yung bintana along the wall panel. That's why it is advisable to model the wall first before the opening. Now, for the auto-identification, we have 4 steps per each element. So walls, 4 steps. So windows, openings, 4 steps. It will be reduced into 3 because sa wall identification, hindi tayo required mag-pick ng wall name. Okay? The software will automatically do that for us if you don't pick it. For the door identification naman po, hindi natin kailangan i-pick yung door and window side end because it was previously picked. If you've done it correctly, it was previously picked in our wall element. Okay? Now, for the wall finishes or the finishes along our structure, we will use the room element finish. Okay? So, ginagawa natin, we assign a room, attach elements, and then we apply it using the point command. If the area is not enclosed, you can use separation line. Separation line po ang gagamitan natin. And lastly, if you have an Excel, okay, you have an Excel, a tabulated Excel file, no, ng mga finishes, you may just import it through our Excel features sa ating software. Okay? So yun lang po yung ating diniscuss. And siguro before I give you guys time for lunch, may paste lang po ako sa ating chat box. So for those of you na nagkakaroon ng problema, I will give you another installer siguro, yung software version ko po. Okay? Para lang po inline tayo. Baka po kasi ang nabigay sa inyo upon invitation is yung 10,000, no? Version 10,000. So let me just open open the link. Okay. So yung link po natin is this one. Sorry, 10,000 pala to. So 10,300. You may try installing it in your laptop po, no? Try natin ito. Make sure lang po na yung laptop natin pass the minimum requirements po para wala tayong problema. And don't worry, no, kung hindi niyo po nagamit yung software today, no, and yesterday, extended po yung ating license, yung ating trial license. I think this is good for 3 weeks to 1 month if I'm not mistaken. Might be less, might be more po. Ito po yung installer natin for 10,300 na TAS version. Alright, so that's it for our training. Again, maraming salamat po for attending our second day. We have a strong 70 participants. I appreciate you guys sticking with me until the second day. And konting taste na lang po, no? Just another 2 more hours and then we are done. Okay, I promise we will be finished at exactly 3 p.m. Sa 3 p.m. mark, doon na po tayo magkuquiz. Okay, so that's it for our training for this morning. I wish you guys a good lunch, no? Sana mabusog tayo. Nagugutom na rin po ako. And if you have questions, feel free to chat me or park your questions in our chat box. I will answer it po. Don't worry, no? I will extend for 5 minutes. Pero kung may question po within the lunch time, i-park nyo lang po and babalikan ko po ito mamaya. Okay? Again, maraming salamat and good morning po.